So as long as we are talking about getting our channels actually into the console for processing, we would have to use the I/O tab, go to Inputs, and there we can see that we can patch our, in this case, our mix rig local inputs to our input channels. And we have 128 of them. We can also do this on a channel by channel basis. If we just select a channel and go to processing and then go to preamp, you can see that we can select here the general area from which we would like to draw our channels. In this case, I take them from the mix rack because I have a DM48 and I have a lot of inputs there, and then I can just select the number of input I want to use. And if I hit apply, it is patched. It's as easy as that. And if we check back here on the I/O tab, you can see that channel 1 is now fed by mixrig local input number 9. What the routing function does for us is, once you select an input, it will show you exactly where this channel is going. The most basic thing would be if I pull up the channel fader, you can see that this channel is now contributing to the master bus that you can see up here at a level of minus 0.2 dB. You can also see the panning. You could even go ahead and select this knob and manipulate the level from here. You can also pan it from here. At the same time, you can also see that this channel is not getting sent to any auxes, matrices, and it's not part of any group. If I would send this channel to an aux, you can see it showing up here. You will also notice that the bar is not filled out. You can only see the outline. This is indicative of the fact that the channel actually is not turned on for that bus. If we take a look, we can see that exactly this is the case. Once I turn it on, you will see the full bar. Those bars also are color-coded. A pink bar is indicative of a post-fader aux, and a green bar will show you a pre-fader aux. You can see at a glance if this channel is associated with any DCA on the console. In this case it is not, but I can set it up very easily from here. If you go one tab to the right, you can see if this channel is part of any mute group. As you can see, it is indeed part of mute group number 4. Furthermore, you can also see the global input direct out source, which is actually rather the tap point. In this case, it's set to post preamp and you can alter it just from here. You can also see at which level this particular channel is getting sent out the direct out, and you can also see the other direct out settings like follow DCA mutes, follow channel fader and follow channel mute. They might seem like little subsettings, but obviously if direct out follows the DCA a channel is associated with, can be quite a big deal. So this gets displayed on any input routing page you will select. If you want to change those settings, you simply press and hold setup, go to routing options, and there you can once again change the tap point, but also those more detailed settings. Remember that all of those options are global, so if you change them here, this will affect the whole console. To wrap this up, I will just quickly assign this channel to a subgroup, so you can see what it looks like. It's just a little pink dot. Of course, any changes made on a hardware level will also get displayed over here. If I hit mix on channel 6, which is the one that I currently selected, and then head over to a group, press and hold assign, and press mix on group 1, you will see group 1 popping up over here. group 2 as well, and I can also dial it out of group number 3, which I assigned via this screen. So yeah, pretty simple function there and a nice way to get a quick glimpse of what is going on. I went ahead and quickly loaded an existing show file. Imagine this was a scene that somebody else created because you are stepping in as a sound engineer or something like that. Using the routing view, you can quickly see where the channels are going. If we take a look at the vocal channel, for example, which I already selected, we can quickly see that it does not go directly to the main bus, but instead it does go to a stereo group. And if we check down here, we can also see what group that is. We can also see that this channel is associated with two DCAs. One would be the vocal DCA that we can see right here, and one would be the money DCA, in which I tend to put all important channels for one show. This little dot up here also is indicative of the fact that this channel is part of a mute group, which would be mute group number 4. Furthermore, we can see that this channel is getting sent to 3 stereo auxes, and if we check over here, we can see that these auxes are a room send, a verb send, and a delay send. So by using the routing function, we can very quickly assess the situation and see if this will work for us, or if we have to make some changes, or if we have something to look out for. So as we just saw, the routing function is very handy in conjunction with inputs. But you probably already asked yourselves what would happen if we select an aux or a master bus. In this case, the routing function actually deserves another name, because it's not so much the routing we see, but it's more of a contributions page. Remember when we used the routing tab with an input, we could see where this channel was going. And if we now press routing while having the master bus selected, we can look in the other direction. That means that we can see what goes to this bus. In this case, and this is because this is my base scene, we can see that nothing goes to the master bus. We can see that there are some faders pulled up to 0 dB down here, but we can also see that those inputs are not turned on to the master bus. So this also is a very handy thing to have. As in the input view, you can just punch anywhere and jump directly to any contribution that you might want to take a look at. Up here you have 5 tabs that you can step through, so you can see at a glance that there are some effect returns going to the main bus. You can see that there are no groups going to the main bus. You can see that the main bus is part of DCA number 10, which would be my money DCA. That's not used as a DCA, it's used as a pop group, so to say. So it's just there to bring stuff to the surface. We can also see that the main bus is not part of any mute group. There is one thing to note, however. Because the routing view is now de facto a contribution view, we have no idea of knowing where this bus is going. This is a slight drawback of this system, but it's not a big deal because there aren't so many places where it can go. In case of the master bus, the only place it could go would be the matrices. And I guess if you're using a dLive system, it can be expected of you that you know where you send your main bus. And if not, you can just quickly pull up your matrices and have a look there, because the routing view on those works exactly like on the main bus. And as you can see, I now selected my left-right matrix. You can quickly see that the main bus actually does get sent there, and it does get sent there at 0 dB, and it is turned on. So to wrap this up, routing view very handy in kinds of situations where you are just a little bit stumped and you don't know what's going on. Try hitting the routing button, check where your signal is going. If you got a signal on a bus that's not supposed to be there, select that bus, hit the routing button, and you will see exactly what gets drawn into that bus. It's really done very nicely with this overview where you can just jump around. You can also scroll here, have a quick overview on the post, pre and on and off settings. Very nice stuff. One more thing you can do with the routing function is to assign channels to a subgroup. If we take stereo group number 1, you can see you have a very nice overview of all input channels on this console, processing channels that is, and you can just dial them into this group by tapping on them or removing them again. We also have the effect returns. We also can assign this group to a DCA this way, and we can also assign this group to a mute group. Again, when something is assigned, you get this little blue dot indicating that in this tab there's something happening, and if no dots are there, you see at a glance that nothing is routed or selected. Finally, you can also use the routing function to assign channels to a DCA. It's pretty much the same layout. It's just more stuff to choose from. We have our inputs here, effect returns. We have the groups, we have the auxes, effect sense, the main, and the matrix. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you got something out of it. Stay safe and see you in the next one.